to my channel. I'm Rachel, the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Happy Thursday, everyone. For today's video, I was finally able to get outside and work on the little stool project. So I have that all finished and ready for you for today. I also wanted to show you at the end of the video some of the products that I just got in from Redesign with Prima. I kind of went back a little ways and ordered some things in that either I haven't had in stock in quite a while because they were older items, or a few things that I have never actually carried before. I just really thought they were pretty items to have for spring, and I wanted to share those with you guys. So it's just a few, so stay tuned to the end of the video for that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to the project that I finished for you guys for today's video. For today's project, I finally managed to get outside and work on this cute little wood stool that I picked up at Goodwill a while back. I liked this little stool because I thought it had good bones. It looks homemade to me, but it's really very well made and sturdy. I just wasn't really excited about the red color, and it is a little bit rough. So I am starting by sanding down some of that roughness and also removing some of that red paint. Now at this point, I already had a direction in mind for this little stool. I recently sold one in the shop that had a beautiful chippy finish, and I wanted to do something similar with this one. I am not trying to sand off all of the red paint here. I have no illusions that I'm going to be able to do that with my sander. It would have taken a whole lot of elbow grease and some stripper. I just wanted to get it removed from around the edges and anywhere I might eventually do some distressing. Since I've decided to give this piece a bit of crackle and hopefully a little bit of chippiness, I'm starting with a coat of Rust-Oleum 2X spray in espresso. This will be the base color that you see through the crackle, and I am spraying a pretty liberal coat all over this little stool. To achieve my crackle finish, I'm going over my spray paint with Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. This color is called Juniper. It's a very beautiful kind of blue-gray color. Reminds me a little bit of DIY's Skeleton Key. Now there are a few things that I do to help encourage good crackle on a piece like this. First off, I don't add any extra bond to my paint. Secondly, I don't let my spray paint dry completely before I begin putting my milk paint over it. Usually I paint over spray paint that's just a little bit tacky to the touch. And thirdly, once I've painted an area, I go over it with my hairdryer and add some heat, and that really helps to encourage that beautiful crackle. Now you can see here I'm using my hairdryer after my first coat of paint. I also use it after the second and even the third coat. I'm not sure that that's absolutely necessary, you guys, but it also helps to minimize the amount of time I'm waiting for things to dry, which is nice in itself. Once I had 3 coats of paint on my little stool and it was completely dry, I took it outside to do some sanding. I like to have a nice smooth surface when I'm finished with a piece, and since milk paint does tend to be a little chunky sometimes, and especially since I wanted to get rid of any chips that might have formed, I am going over the entire piece with some 220 grit sandpaper. I also did a little bit of distressing around the edges and around the top as well. Once I had sanded everything smooth and I was happy with my distressing, I brought my little stool back inside and wiped it down really well with a damp shop towel. Now keep in mind when you go over milk paint with anything damp, you do run the risk of encouraging more chippiness or crackling. And in this case, I ended up getting a little more chippiness on the top of my stool, which honestly wasn't a disappointment because I wanted this to have a nice kind of crackly, chippy farmhouse finish anyway. Originally, I had planned on putting some pink flowers on this little stool, but as I was standing and looking at all of my transfers, I decided to go with this beautiful blue one instead. This is called Blue Nest Blooms. It's one of the newer release transfer sets by Redesign with Prima. I felt that these curved transfers were just a little bit better fit for the round top of this stool. And I am just applying the transfers as usual. I peeled off the backer, I laid it down where I wanted it, smoothed it out, and then I'm using the transfer stick to rub my transfer down into my piece as I slowly peel back the piece of vellum. And I find when I'm working on a piece that has a little bit of chippiness to it, it's always best to work towards the chippiness so that it's the last part of the transfer that you're putting down. So you can see here, I just kind of use my fingers where it's chippy to push the vellum off of the transfer so that it lays down. And that way I'm not pulling up and accidentally peeling my paint up with the transfer. And once I had my first transfer down completely, I added another one to the opposite side of my little stool. One of the things I noticed when I bought this little footstool was that a lot of the plugs that went over the screw holes were missing from it. And they had originally been filled with little pieces of wood dowel. I don't have anything that could mimic that, unfortunately. So I was forced to improvise, and I went ahead and filled the holes using some little plugs that I had bought off of Amazon. Now they are black, but I think they blend into the transfer pretty well. And to me, this was a better alternative than filling in those holes. These will also help protect the holes from filling with wax, which is the next step in this process. Just like DIY paint, Sweet Pickins Milk Paint does need to be sealed. And for this project, I am starting with a coat of DIY's clear wax. I am brushing it on with a soft bristle brush, just in a nice thin layer everywhere. And once I have a good portion of my little stool covered in wax, I'm going to go in with a dry shop towel and just wipe back the excess wax. Once I've applied a nice even coat of the clear wax to the entire stool, I am going to go in with DIY's dark wax. Now I'm putting the clear wax on first to act as a bit of a buffer between the dark wax and the paint, as it helps to keep the dark wax from making my paint look too muddy. And this way, the dark wax will just add a really beautiful aged patina to my piece, and it will also sink into all of that crackle to really make it stand out well. Once I'm finished applying the dark wax, this little footstool is finished. I love the end result. I'm really happy with how it came together, and I hope you guys like it as much as I do. Well, that's it for the project part of today's video. I hope you liked how my little footstool turned out. I am pretty proud of it. I love the fact that it got a little bit of chippiness on the top. I love the crackle, and that juniper color is definitely one of my favorites. Next up, I'm going to show you the Redesign with Prima products that I got in specifically for spring and summer projects. I know we're kind of in between releases, and a lot of their last release centered around Easter, and I wanted to bring in some more things that were just kind of florally and fun for spring and summer. So I'm going to show those all to you. Okay, we'll start with these small transfers. I got in 3. This one's not a very old one. This one's called Garden Whispers. It's kind of got some beautiful blues and whites in it. Here, set those back down again. You can see you get the 3 sheets, and there's just some soft blues in there, some darker blues, just a really pretty set, and of course a lot of birds. So just kind of a fun spring and summery set. This one's called Organic Flora, and it looks almost like pressed flowers. It's really pretty, bold colors, and you get the little hummingbird and just all the pretty little florals in this one. And again, it's one of the minis, so you get 3 sheets. And this one is one of my all-time favorites, you guys. This one's called Botanical Paradise. It is a bunch of smaller, kind of spring colored flowers. They're so pretty, cut out and used together. You can use them singly on projects. There's some, a couple bees, 1 bee, I guess. And so you can see just all the pretty little flowers that you get and greenery in this set. I just love it. So I ordered quite a few of these. Hopefully you guys like it too. It is available right now on my website. And then for the purple lovers, I am not the hugest purple fan. I like it. It's just not one of my favorites, but I know there's a lot of people who love this color. This is my son's favorite color, honestly. And so I grabbed this one. It's called Majestic Blooms. It's a maxi transfer, so you get 2 12 by 12 sheets, and this is what that looks like. So hopefully I'm holding it in the right place, you guys. So just a really pretty set. And just a nice variety of flowers too, I thought. Then I grabbed a different color of wax. I have the Eternal, I got that in as well, so it's back in stock. I wanted something a little more copper, so I got this one. It's called Meteor Showers, and it's this really kind of pretty coppery gold. I just think it'll be a really pretty accent for different items, so we'll see. Anyway, this is also available on my website. And then lastly, I like these mica powder sets. I think they're beautiful. I didn't want to go too crazy, so I brought this one in because, again, it has kind of a pretty spring palette to it. So there's 6 jars of mica powder colors in there. So, and again, these are also now available in my website. So I also restocked all of the Easter transfer sets, the 2 H2O transfers that have recently come out, along with the gilded Easter one. So there's quite a bit that got restocked on my website. So if you need anything, all of that is at www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I so appreciate that, you guys. If you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and then just hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And then don't forget to drop a comment below and let me know what you thought of my little project for today. I also carry on my website some other DIY products, including DIY paint and products, of course, Sweet Pickins Milk Paint and products, in which my order's on its way, you guys. So if you're waiting for Cheshire, it should be here, I would imagine, if not this week, by the beginning of next week. So hopefully, fingers crossed. And of course, I also carry some Recycled Treasures decoupage papers. So if you're in need, you can check those all out on my website. And then let's see, for Sunday's video, I've been working on a couple of other projects. I have a Books and Blooms event that I'm doing at the end of the month, and as a kind of side project, I have been working on some bookmarks. I ordered wooden bookmark blanks from Amazon, and I used some decoupage paper and some transfers and different things on them, so that will probably be a video. And then I've also been working on a little student chair. It's like an old student chair that a customer gave me, and so I'm hoping to have that done for a video as well. So I'm not really sure what exactly Sunday is going to look like, but I should have something for Sunday, so hopefully you can join me back here then. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your week and beginning of the weekend, and I will see you back here on Sunday. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. I always appreciate it. Bye.